Hello, everyone. Welcome to HES 351 Statistics. I hope you guys had an awesome summer. I know I did. It's a little short, but I'm also excited to see you guys next week and get started with school and just a different part of our lives. I wanted to get you guys up and going on Blackboard and my stat lab just so you could have that all ready to go when you come to class next time. So first of all, when you open up my SAU and you go to Blackboard, open up this class, which is HES 351. And when you open it up, you will see a menu over here on the left, which is where you navigate everything. At the top is announcements, which also at the very top of the announcements, there's a Zoom link. If you ever have to be absent, make sure you email me and let me know, because I won't necessarily Zoom every class period if nobody's absent. Meet Your Instructor has some information, bio information on me. It's a little out to date, but I will introduce myself. My name is Dr. Tucker. The first day of class, I'll do a better job of introducing myself, and hopefully in the first week or so, I will get to know you guys. There's a lot of you in here, so it may take me a while to learn everybody's name. The syllabus is here. Be sure and look at that, read it thoroughly, make sure you know what to expect in this class. The class introduction video that I'm doing right now is right here. Textbook and information, I will show you how to do that, so you don't need to pay a whole lot of attention to that link, because I'm going to show you how to get into the textbook. My stat lab link, you will use most of this course is on my stat lab. The tests, the homework, most of what you need is right here. You can send me an email here, my grades, discussion board. We don't have any discussion board things in here, so you can't see that on yours. Information about the Christian faith paper and a rubric is here. It's also in the syllabus where it talks about it, and we'll talk about it more as it gets close to being due. This is where you would submit that. Project information and grading rubric is here. That's also in the syllabus. Again, we'll talk about that more as it comes close to being due. Here's an example of a project done by Dr. Hogger and then modified by me later on. Here's where you submit the project. Then PowerPoint slides right here. Most of the days in class, I will use these PowerPoint slides. So if you want to print those off to take notes on, that's up to you. But some people like to do that. Some people follow along on their computer. But anyway, I will be using these a lot in class. Then also video lectures. If you ever have to be absent, these give an abbreviated video done by the textbook of each section. They're really good and helpful. Or also, if you're having trouble, you might want to watch those before you come to class. You have an idea of what we're going to do before you get there. That might be helpful. And then down here are some other miscellaneous links that some of them we'll use, some of them we might not this semester, but things that I've posted in the past that have been helpful. So, and then here's some old Zoom lectures. I may take those down because, again, we do a lot of side stuff where there's dead time on the Zoom lectures that gets a little boring to watch. So, again, but those are up there. So that's what's on Blackboard. When I go into my stat lab link, it takes me straight in. In fact, I'll show you what it looks like. So I go in here. You always want to go into the course home because that will give you the menu on the left where you can get to your grade book. If you go into assignments, you don't have access to that menu that'll take you to other places. So I always like to go in here on the second one down. And when I go in, it will take me straight into the course itself. And so you can see over here, I've got the grade book and the assignments. That's the main thing I'll need. There's some other things over here, the multimedia library, but most of what you need out of that, I've already put on Blackboard, which I showed you a second ago, the PowerPoint slides, the video lectures. So the main thing you will need out of here is assignments and gradebook. All right, obviously you have not purchased the textbook yet, so it won't take you straight in. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like from your side. So if you go in, I put in the student view, and so you open my math lab link and you open to the course home that I showed you the second one down. It takes you to this license agreement. So you would just look through this and say, I accept. and then it will take you to a page that looks like this. If you've had any kind of Pearson account in the past, such as my math lab, my reading lab, my chem lab, you can use the same username and password. If you haven't, which most of you probably haven't, you'll just say create, and then it'll ask you for your email address, ask you to pick a password, things of that sort. You'll agree to the conditions, and then it will take you to a new page. And I don't want to put this information in, so I'm going to show you a screenshot I have of it. So this is a screenshot of what the next page will look like. If you have an access code from the bookstore, you would click right here and put your access code in. If you haven't and you want to purchase it through the website, many times it's actually cheaper here. This is probably not the price. This is an old screenshot of a different class, probably even a math class and not a statistics class. But sometimes it gives you some options like getting it for 16 weeks versus, a year, which is somewhat cheaper. Just make sure you have it for the length of time that you need it. So purchase that. If you're not absolutely positive you're going to stay in this course, then you probably want to use the temporary access code, because once you've opened this access code, you've bought it no matter what. So again, you can get a temporary access code for 14 days. If you use this option, make sure you buy your book and get it taken care of before the 14 days is up. Because if it runs out on test day and you don't have access to my math lab to do the test, that's on you. A 0 on a major test is hard to recover from. So again, you've got 14 days to take care of that. So make sure you take care of it before that time is over if you go this route. So if you know you're going to be in the course, just don't even go here. But you need to get in quickly, because we will cover the first 3 sections today and already have homework. So you don't need to get behind. So make sure you take care of this. Okay, I've exited preview, and so I'm going to go back into my stat lab from the side. From now on, this is what you'll see. When you go in, it will take you straight into the course where you need to be. And then if you're working on homework, you want to go to assignments. Then this shows the due dates. Again, we're going to cover the first 3 sections. Today, I keep saying today, but the first day of class. And then this shows the due dates that things are due. And actually, this is, again, I'm getting it confused with my other class. So again, this shows when they're due, and we'll talk about in class which ones we cover. So it looks like we just cover maybe section 1 the first day in here. So again, a little different timing in this class than in the business version. So again, if you want to, I want to show you some things on the homework, how to navigate my math lab. We've talked about it a second ago, but the main thing you'll need is assignments and gradebook. So let's say we're in section 2.1 and we're on number 7. All right, let's look at this problem. You don't know how to do any of this right now, but I'm just showing you how this navigates. So if it wants you to find the midpoint, when we cover this, you'll find out that you add 17 plus 27 and divide by 2 to find the midpoint. All right, so when I add 17 plus 27 and divide by 2, I get 22. Then the relative frequency, I take 17 divided by the total of all of them. The total of all of them was 365. So when I divided that, I got 0.11 rounded, or I'm sorry, 0.05 rounded to the nearest hundredth. So make sure you follow directions on rounding or it'll count it wrong. And then the cumulative frequency is how many we've had to that point. So we've only had 17. And then I click check answer, and it says good job. Okay. So then it gives me the next one, 28 to 38. So again, I add those and I divide by 2, and I get a midpoint of 33. I get a relative frequency of 41 divided by 365, which is 0.11. And then I get a cumulative frequency up to that point. We've had 17 plus 41, which is 58. But let's say I put it in there wrong and I put it in as 57, and then I say check answer. It says one or more of your responses is incorrect. So I say, okay, and a lot of times this will give you information about how to do the problem, so don't exit out too soon before you read it. It'll tell you how to do it. A lot of times you can figure out your mistake. Okay, you can see all of these are blue except this one, so that means this is the only one that I missed. So I can go back and check my work on just this one and go, oh, I didn't add that right, and change it to 58, check answer, and it says okay. All right, so you get 3 chances at each one of these, and then if you miss all 3 chances, you can go ahead and finish the problem and then ask for a similar problem and still get full credit, but you do have to do the entire problem over again. So again, there's not a whole lot of reason for not having 100 on homework grades if you have time to go back and fix things. You can continue to fix things on homework up until the due date, and it'll do nothing but bring your grade up. After the due date, it counts off 5% per day just on the part that you're fixing or finishing. The part you've already done, it doesn't change. So you can't do anything but help your grade by going back and working on it. That's up until test day. On test day, I zero everything out, and you cannot complete homework after test day because the point is to get ready for the test. So if you don't know how to do it, you can say, help me solve this. It'll take you step by step through the problem, but you'll have to redo the problem. You can say, view an example. And if you look at view an example, it will give you step-by-step problem almost just like it. And then once you're finished looking at it, then you can finish the one you have and you don't have to redo it. But it's probably a good idea if you had to have help maybe to practice another one. Get more help. It'll show you a video of what you're having trouble with. It'll show you the textbook. StatCrunch is a software that we usually don't use in here. I don't like to use it because you don't have access to it once you're out of this class. So I like to teach you Excel or something that you'll always have access to. Ask My Instructor emails me straight from this problem so I can see the problem you're working on, which is very helpful because math problems are really difficult to ask about in an email, and then you can print the problem. So that hopefully helps you navigate my math lab a little bit. We'll talk about it more as the semester goes on. So go ahead and get in your textbook and be ready for class on the first time. I look forward to seeing you. Enjoy the last few moments of your break and have a nice weekend.